Welcome back. In China, Samsung has finally stopped mobile phone production. It closed its last local phone factory located in Huizhou. Tesla, on the other hand, is reportedly getting ready to kickstart production at its new China factory this month. David Pollard reports.
One in, one out. Samsung, the world's biggest smartphone maker, has ended mobile phone production in China, the firm confirmed on Wednesday. The shutdown comes months after it cut production at one plant. It suspended another factory there last year. Competition to blame. Mid-2013 saw the Korean firm enjoy a 15% share of what is the world's biggest smartphone market. That had shrunk to 1% in the first quarter of this year, as it lost ground to homegrown brands like Huawei and Xiaomi. The headlines were a sharp contrast to Tesla. Sources say the US electric vehicle maker aims to start production at its China factory this month. The $2 billion plant, Tesla's first car manufacturing site overseas, gained key government approvals last month. It is, though, unclear, the sources say, whether a production target of at least 1,000 Model 3s a week is achievable, amid uncertainties around orders, labour and suppliers. For Samsung, too, a contrast between China and its footprint in Vietnam. With 8 factories and an R&D centre, it's invested more than $17 billion there and accounts for around 1/5 of Vietnam's total exports.
Tesla's not been doing so well overall, though, with sales numbers out yesterday disappointing investors in New York, where its share price fell. That comes as the company is struggling with a new software update, which was supposed to allow its cars to park themselves. U.S. regulators may be worried about a new smart summon feature after videos on social media showed it having problems. This post from Frisco, Texas, claimed to show a red Model 3 Tesla nearly colliding with another vehicle in a private car park. Tesla has said customers are still responsible for their cars and must monitor it and its surroundings at all times. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump was grilled by the media over what exactly he wanted the Ukrainian president to do about Democratic rival Joe Biden. This was at a press conference he was holding with Finland's president. Trump got pretty frustrated as a Reuters reporter repeatedly pressed him about the Ukraine issue, resorting to calling the media fake, corrupt, and a hoax. Let's have a look.
Sir, what about Mr. Biden? What did you want about Biden? What did you want him to look into on Biden?
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked, and you know it. His son walks out with millions of dollars. The kid knows nothing. You know it, and so do we. Go ahead, ask a question.
But the question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
You ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked.
Did you hear me?
What did you want?
Did you hear me?
Yes,
ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
No, sir, I don't want to be rude. I just wanted you to have a chance to answer the question that I asked you.
I've answered everything. It's a whole hoax. And you know who's playing into the hoax? People like you and the fake news media that we have in this country. And I say in many cases, the corrupt media, because you're corrupt. Much of the media in this country is not just fake, it's corrupt. And you have some very fine people, too. Great journalists, great reporters. But to a large extent, it's corrupt and it's fake.
Quite a moment, huh? Over in the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told lawmakers there that his proposal is the country's last chance for a Brexit deal. Speaking in Parliament, Johnson admitted that a Brexit resolution was some way off, but insisted the Irish backstop had to go. He also believes the European Union had reacted constructively to his proposals for a new deal. But opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn poured cold water over the PM's positivity, saying the vagueness of his proposal so far point to a worse deal than what former Prime Minister Theresa May had put forward.
If our European neighbours choose not to show a corresponding willingness to reach a deal, then we shall have to leave on October the 31st without an agreement. and we are ready to do so.
The proposals are unrealistic and damaging and will, as I think the Prime Minister full well knows, be rejected in Brussels, rejected in this House and rejected across this country.
Well, there's certainly a lot on their plate in the UK. Britain's economy appears to have slipped into recession, according to a latest survey that shows the country's dominant services sector took a surprise nosedive last month. Here's David Pollard again.
Unappetizing times for British restaurants and for the UK economy, which may now be in recession, according to a PMI survey of what is the dominant services sector. In an unexpectedly sharp downturn, its output shrank in September. A reading of 49.5 is half a point below the 50 level that marks growth. That's a 6-month low and the worst services number among major economies. Britain's output shrank 0.2% in the 3 months to June. The second quarter of contraction would officially put it into recession territory. The data will add to nerves among investors at a time when Britain is struggling to find a compromise deal with the EU or face the prospect of a hard Brexit at the end of the month. With the Eurozone also buffeted by the uncertainty, PMI numbers there on Thursday suggest output flatlined last month. Taken on its own, manufacturing saw the steepest decline in the PMI in almost 7 years.
Fresh pictures are out from North Korea's test of a submarine-launched ballistic missile, which Pyongyang has called a success. Photos in state media showed the missile emerging from water before a rocket booster sent it skyward. They were the 9th launch since Kim Jong-un met U.S. President Donald Trump in June and come just ahead of a next round of talks. And sports updates, it's next. Let's start with the latest from the Rugby World Cup. Ireland has made a huge comeback after suffering a shock World Cup defeat against Japan. The Irish took a 35-0 bonus point victory over a stubborn Russia in Kobe today, moving them to the top of Pool A with 11 points and beefing up their quarterfinal chances. Russia plays Scotland next Wednesday before ending pool play against the tournament hosts in Yokohama on 13 of October. Fiji also made a statement today by scoring 7 tries while thrashing Georgia, claiming their first win of this World Cup at the Hanazono Rugby Stadium. Fiji, Georgia, and Uruguay all have just one win from 3 matches in Pool D, meaning Wales and Australia are almost certain to get through to the quarterfinals. To Champions League action now, Liverpool held off a stunning fight back by Red Bull Salzburg to claim a dramatic 4-3 victory at Anfield. Liverpool were 3-0 up before the break thanks to Sadio Mane, Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah, but the Austrians fought back to make it 3-3 in the second half. It was Salah who fired the winner in the 69th minute and secured Liverpool's points. The Reds are second in the group on 3 points and will aim for an 8th consecutive Premier League win against Leicester City on Saturday.
We have to go again, and that we showed character. I'm the last one who would be surprised about that. That's why I was not overly concerned in the moment when we scored a 3-3, because I knew we will have moments again.
In Group F, Luis Suarez scored twice as Barcelona fought back to beat Inter Milan 2-1 at Camp Nou. The visitors took a surprise lead when Lautaro Martinez scored after just 2 minutes. But the Serie A leaders were made to pay for failing to add to their advantage. Suarez drew level in the 58th minute. He then made it 2-1 with 5 minutes to play, slotting home from captain Lionel Messi, who has returned from injury. Barcelona are level on 4 points with Borussia Dortmund with 4 points from 2 games. And finally, in the World Athletics Championship, Dina Asher-Smith won the 200 meters on Wednesday to become the first British woman to claim a global sprint title. With the absence of several top contenders, Asher-Smith proved a class act in the field, powering home in a national record of 21.88 seconds. In the men's 110 meters hurdles, American Grant Holloway won his first world title after defending champion Omar McLeod fell And in the men's hammer, Poland's Paweł Wajda claimed a fourth consecutive world championship by unleashing the only effort over 80 meters. Okay, that's it for now. We'll of course be back tomorrow night to update you on everything that are shaping your world. And Vichitra Dondi and the whole team, have a great evening.